Welcome to lesson 16 of Learn to Manifest. If this is the first video you're catching in this series, go ahead and check the description below where I have the link to the playlist that will bring you to lesson 1 as we are building on all the previous lessons. If you have been with me so far, you have now completed the first 2 months, where the first month we were doing our base beliefs about manifesting and then the base beliefs about our self-concept, and last week you started to think about and came up with a list of the areas in your life that are the most important to you. This is unique to you. I can tell you what my areas are, and you can go look at what other people's areas are, but what are the things that are important to you? And I don't want you to necessarily look at it as like, what areas do I need to improve on? Just what areas of your life are important to you? What I ended up doing with my self concept was taking these areas and coming up with one general affirmation for each area that implies to me that everything in that area is good. The reason I did it this way is because when I first came across affirmations and I first came across self concept, and I was trying to think about all of the things that I wanted and I wanted to change and what I wanted life to be like, I had like 4,000 affirmations. It was insane the amount of things I was affirming to myself. I was having such a hard time keeping it short and concise and kind of building a vision for what I wanted my life to look like. And what helped me was doing this. What are the areas of my life that are important to me? What is one sentence that implies that that area is good? And this is my quote unquote self concept. This is who I am in relation to these things, in relation to health, money, relationships, other people. When it comes to other people, we're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about specifically other people. When I'm talking about other people, for me, I wanted an affirmation in my self concept that I was committed to telling myself every day that implied like what my friendships are like, who I am in, with friends and family. Who am I in my love relationship, in my love life? Who am I when it comes to money? Most of my affirmations are I am statements, but they aren't all I am statements. So if you have a couple that you're like, I don't know how to word this in a way that implies that that is who I am, that's okay. Just one sentence that, if this area of my life is perfect, what would I tell myself? What I did from here and what we are going to do as we move forward, like I said, this month I want you guys to get these affirmations together, and we're going to build on the whole of your self concept. But what I did past this is that I took every area and got really clear about what that one affirmation meant to me. But I started with the general affirmation and then built it out from there. And that was what was beneficial for me, because I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't really know what I wanted. That was the whole reason I ended up with a law of attraction coach, because I was hoping they could help me get clarity on what I wanted. And all the years after that, I still didn't know what I wanted and was way more confused than I needed to be, for all the reasons I'm not going to get into here. But those general affirmations helped me to then build out affirmations for that specific area that I then started to just think, oh, well, that one affirmation means all these other things to me. I hope that makes sense. One of the other things that we are going to be doing and thinking about is upgrading our base beliefs around manifesting. That's going to be a few weeks from now, but that those base affirmations you can also take those and turn them into more blanket affirmations. I know I was talking about, I think I talked about this in this course thing. I don't remember where I was talking about it, but I remember talking about that when I first started doing this and people saying, well, just tell yourself you're a master manifester. I didn't know what that meant. But as I broke down the things that I needed to know and understand about manifesting, those affirmations I gave you guys in the very beginning, I could take those and then put them under the blanket affirmation of I'm a master manifester. And that's what we're doing with our self concept, but we're doing it the opposite way of the way that we're going to do our manifesting abilities. And I did that intentionally so that you guys can see how affirmations work and how it's not about the affirmation per se, it's about changing the perspective. And it's through the repetition that that changes. And you guys have seen that now. If you guys have actually stuck to the 2 months and have been doing this consistently, you understand what I'm saying. And if you are still kind of confused on how that all goes together, if you stick to it and do it, you're going to see what I'm talking about. You can come back to this video and you'll fully understand what I'm talking about. But for this week, your assignment is to keep affirming what you've been affirming. We're not going to change that right now. 10 minutes of your base manifesting beliefs, 10 minutes of your self concept. And your assignment for this week is to come up with those single sentence affirmations, just one. You do not get more than one, just one for every area. The one sentence that implies all is well within that area. If you finish those very quickly, you are going to add them into the self-concept affirmations you are already saying. You're not going to add another 10 minutes. It's just going to go, just stick it on the end of the affirmations you've been saying about your self-concept. Something that I was thinking about with how I've done self-concept this way, I have been using the same self-concept affirmations now for a while. And I was thinking about this as I was coming up with how I wanted to structure this moving forward. And something I have noticed because I did it this way, I don't see myself changing my self-concept affirmations maybe ever. I think health is a good example. My affirmation is I'm happy, healthy, and thriving when it comes to mental and physical health. I'm happy, healthy, and thriving. I don't see that changing. That I don't want to be happy or thriving or healthy. I've kind of built myself this base of who I am that takes care of a lot of things. And I'm hoping that you'll see that as you start thinking about that one sentence per area. But I don't see that changing for me. I don't see me changing the affirmation I have for money or any of my areas, honestly, because I really came at it from if all is exactly the way I wish it was in this area, what is the one sentence that implies that is true for me? So I say those base affirmations I gave you. I have my few that I threw in there as extra things, and I put this on the end of it. And that's my self-concept. That's what I tell myself every day. The one affirmation I did put at the end of this, I put a kind of blanket affirmation at the end, just like with that self-concept stuff that I put I am perfect. I put I am the woman that has it all at the end. If you want to put a blanket affirmation, something like that in there, go ahead. That just kind of covers everything else. Like here's every area, those are all covered. Here's this blanket affirmation that covers the rest of it. All of must be well. So yeah, that is what your assignment is for this week. Get those affirmations as soon as you figure out what feels good for you. Test it, and if you need to tweak it a little bit, that's all good. Like I said, this month is going to be building up on that self-concept. This week we're doing this. Next week we're going to talk about how other people what other people think about us and how other people view us and perceive us. If you're not sure about what you think other people are thinking about you, start paying attention to that this week as you're just living your life. But yeah, that is the next thing, is to get your blanket affirmation for each area of that is important, each area of your life that is important to you, and then just add them into your self-concept. Next week, we are going to be talking about, like I said, how other people view you and see you, treat you. So start paying attention to that in your day-to-day life this week, just so you have an idea of what you may need to be affirming as we talk about that. And that is all I got for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Love and light.